Hey guys, it's Mary here, and I'm gonna go live for just a few minutes here. I want to bring up a conversation. I'm going live here on my public Facebook. I've got a couple hundred followers, but I know exactly who my channels are, and mm, I have some concerns that I want to address, and I want to bring them to some people's awareness. This is about the energy industry. It's about technology. It's about telecom. It's about 5G. It's about Wi-Fi. It's about electricity, critical infrastructure, upgrades, and the electric system. But I'm bringing this to a more varied audience. So, because I have quite a number of people. I have Canadians on here. I have Americans on here. I have a lot of military on here. I have a lot of international business people on this Facebook and in this group. And then I have a bunch of, coaches and healers and environmentally aware types. These conscious alternative healers and spiritualists. And you guys, I want to invite you to be a part of this conversation. So I'm just going to plant a couple seeds here, chat, for a few minutes. It's unscripted, it's live, and it's prompted by a passionate discussion that I just had from someone in Canada who approached me with a business opportunity that they were clearly technically unprepared for. And so as a software engineer who also works backstage and on stage and in that whole public speaking circuit, I'm trying to bring together and bridge together those different groups. So that really technical, nerdy, heads down engineering audience who do all the programming, those engineers, and the actual forward public facing CEOs and business people and marketers and MLM folks and all those perhaps less technically inclined folks who are actually doing the dissemination of the business. And I'm seeing some red flags and things that are scaring me because people are trying to make money move, and they're talking a lot of stuff, and maybe they're making money move, but they're doing it in ways that are harming people, and they're making bad business decisions because they don't actually understand anything about technology. And so I want to invite you to be the part of the conversation. And so just getting this party started here. Haven't thought this through, but it's been on my mind for a while. So I'm just going to bring it out there and roll with it and see what we're doing here. So let's talk about energy. They've deregulated some of the energy industry. They're dealing with providing services across international borders, right? Things are changing in the electricity market. I'm a person who comes from the background of, I used to write the scripts and the macros, automating the processes that tell the power plants when to turn on and off based on demand response layers, right? So this is like programming the smart grid. I've written software for electric vehicles and the cold cloud layer that has to create that technological infrastructure. And a lot of other really very, very cool other stuff. A lot of really cool other stuff. I think a lot of you guys don't know what you're doing when it comes to the business and sales and marketing tactics that's going on. And I'm trying to figure out how to communicate with you as a very technical person who doesn't necessarily speak all of the business language. I'm trying really hard to learn the language and the vernacular of business and marketing and revenue producing days, and I'm trying to learn all that money language so that I can actually communicate with you. But as a technologist, I'm deeply concerned. So I'm hoping this gets through to some of you, and eventually you'll come back and talk to me. So I'm writing about this, and I'm starting a larger conversation. I know that I'll pick on this. This is not technical. A lot of you are very concerned about 5G. A lot of you are very concerned about cell towers and other infrastructure technology upgrades. Hi, whoever's just joined me. A lot of you are very concerned about these technological infrastructure upgrades like 5G, the cell towers, the electric cars, your smart homes, this is a security layer nightmare. It's also a health hazard. There's a lot of things that go on in the technology industry where business is pushing the money and they're trying to sell products, and then the engineers, who are salaried workers, are dependent on what the business people do. The engineers have to make the money flow, but what the engineers are doing is causing people to get hurt and harmed, and it starts at the business layer. And so this is the conversation that I'm trying to structure and have with you. So I'm really inviting you to come here and join me. This is a super nerdy thing. I don't even know who's going to show up, but that's why I've got this audience of super healers and conscious empaths and all you guys who are very sensitive and emotional and feely. We need you. You're wonderful. Think about that. How do you feel about your concerns for these technologies that are being developed? I'm a technological person who's trying to bridge that gap and communicate with you. I also share concerns. So I don't really know how to talk about this. This is unscripted. It's live. I'm just going for it. I really want to invite this conversation because I think that there's a lot going on. And so I see a lot of technological problems, and I see impacts negatively to health on a large scale. I see impacts economically that are stupid. In other words, we could improve the economy by doing things differently. Like, we could still improve the economy. I understand that, like, you guys are trying to do something good. You're trying to make money move. Hey, that's great. We can do a better job of that by improving this technical communication. Get your business guys talking to the tech guys. We need to get the conversation flowing, and I believe that we need to educate en masse the general public about how to use these technologies, what its costs and impacts really are. And so I'll give you an example. I have a young teenage friend, marvelous human being, and this friend likes to go live on the internet all the time. So this friend is consuming, I don't know how many gigabytes of data per day, but you know, they're younger than a millennial. What's that generation called? I don't know. The new guys, the younger ones, they've grown up with technology. They're like seamless and they're inseparable from it. So they've grown up using this since they were a little child. But someone like me who's a little older, you know, some of that stuff wasn't around. Like, I was in the days of dial-up modems, and I remember when cable internet came out and things like that. So I learned cost benefit analysis. Like, I don't like to go on live video. You guys know that. I just text. I just usually write. I'll upload some memes and some photos because I'm concerned about data, and I'm concerned about security. I'm concerned about metadata in my photos. I'm concerned about my location. I'm concerned about privacy issues. I'm concerned about the cost. Frankly, I don't subscribe to an unlimited data plan. I use a hybrid Wi-Fi and cellular technology. I do not purchase unlimited data because not only is there a monetary cost for getting that data to flush through unlimited, there's also health and environmental costs that you guys know as this like rainforest jungle priestess woman. I really deeply, sincerely care about the environment. I understand the environmental aspects. Did you know some of these huge mining projects, like mineral mining, going for quartz crystals, you know, computers, cell phones, laptops, these things run on quartz layers, right? The electricity, how they create the circuits, you guys, those are made with different materials. Sure, we have, but we often dig them up from the earth. What does that mean? If I'm married to a dude in the jungle who represents the rainforest, he's the, you know, the leader of the tribe here, he's the guy that has to go in and protect and stand up to all those politicians who are trying to go in and do mining and do huge geological excavation sites in the forest and in the rainforest down there. Guys, these are big topics and they really matter. So I'm just expressing a lot of concern. This is not an organized speech that I'm giving here. I'm coming from my nerd point of view, not a stage presence. And so, but I really want to talk to you. I'm really concerned about this, you guys. So like this younger person who is consuming all of this data because they have no concept whatsoever of the monetary or the health or the environmental costs. They go on and they film 6 lives a day, or they're constantly on video chat, or all of this. Look at this more than exponential data consumption that is happening. We're using more and more and more and more and more and more data over time. We're creating portals, we're creating openings in the universe, we're creating magnetic fields around us, because the data, when I was younger, the internet was wired, and there was a box over here, a server box, and there was a box over here, and there was a cord. There was a physical cable that ran between them and connected them and sent data. And when you dealt with security, you used to say, okay, you can go in and tap the wire, right? You can put some physical device in there and you can listen in, and all right, now I'm a super spy, right? And I'm listening to the White House. Okay, cool. Well, guess what? Technology has evolved since then, and now it's all in the cloud. We're standing in the data. So there's this Wi-Fi transfer that's happening, right? And so how we physically manage those signals and those security layers is a mathematical amazing thing for someone like me, but it's also a technological and a security nightmare. There's a lot of risks involved, and people aren't talking about it, and they're not educated enough. And so I just want to throw some of these things out there and probably turn it into something more organized, but for now I'm just trying to convince people to listen to me. So you guys, I really want to talk to you about this. It's very special and important. It might not be all sexy and cool and money and, you know, whatever you guys are into. This is not football or beer night, you know. This is like real electricity market and regulation industry specs and things and topics of conversation that we really need to have. So I'm concerned, and I don't really like talking to the camera all by myself because there's no person on the other line, you know? So I'm gonna look back at this and laugh. Try not to feel self-conscious. So I really want to talk to you guys, so I'm inviting you. Drop some comments, connect with me, send me a message on Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever. Contact me on the internet or in real life, obviously, and communicate with me. Throw in your 2 cents. I want to structure a conversation, and I'm inviting you to lend me your other point of view. I want to know, your thoughts and concerns around these topics, and I want to get the conversation flowing. I invite you to be a part of this conversation that I really want to have with you, that I think we should all have together, because as we're creating a technology and we're selling it as a business, and then we're implementing laws and politics and policies for how we do this and communicate, these things are very important. So here I am in front of my Facebook audience, which is a very different crew, and I'm doing that deliberately because, I worked for these big tech companies. I could just get up and go on stage and talk to those guys, but talking to a group of nerds who engineer the thing is different from talking to the everyday person who's using it. So yeah, I want to talk to you guys and invite this conversation. I don't know if I made 100% sense, so I left some things hanging there. Leave me a note, any questions you have. What else do I want to say?